Hi, I have a very, very good friend called Strevs. We have some unusual conversations. I thought tonight I would share one with you. And here she is, Strevs. Hello, Strevsy.
Morning. Is it still morning? Oh, just about.
Is it?
Sun will be past the yard after I'm cracking up.
I understand you wanted to talk about, discuss something, but I don't know what it is. Tell me. Hit me.
So, yesterday, for my mum's birthday, I took her to this place. It was absolutely jam full of dead stuff, as you do.
Well, like what?
It was all stuffed. Everything was dead.
Stuffed things?
It was a museum, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there was some stuff that you could touch, though. So there was a dead spider monkey on the stand, and you could pet that.
Pet
and there was also a dead fox that you could touch.
That's lovely. So, and you took your mum there?
Yeah, I was like, hey, Mum, happy birthday.
What, you'll be here soon?
Well, the lion's share of stuff is in cases. Now, I thought, because it was like most of it was stuffed at the turn of the century, I thought it was like smell really snuffy.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't smell at all. But it was all really Victorian, little grates in the floor. And they had a big thing full of penguins. And one of them was like 5 foot tall.
A 5 foot tall penguin?
Yeah, it was huge. I don't know if shit was big back then.
Did it have a machine gun?
No.
No, the reason I ask, because you know I'm into doing stuff with flat Earth, right? There's a lot of talk about armed penguins guarding the ice wall so we can't get to the edge. Have you ever heard of that before?
Right, we've spoken about the ice wall. I'm freaked out by the ice wall, but I'm sorry, this thing would just better walk through the ice wall. Even if there was an ice wall, it's that big, it'd just go.
But hold on, you're freaked out by the ice wall. Why are you freaked out by an ice wall?
I think probably a ship would have hit it by now, don't you? Or perhaps wouldn't Scott, when he was with his ponies, because he wasn't sensible enough to follow the Norwegian example and take dogs, wouldn't he have bumped into it with his ponies before he ate them? Before he ate oats as well, when he went out and said,
how do they cook them? There's not many trees to make fires.
Who went outside and died? I was Captain Oates, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, I'm going out on maybe sometime.
Because if he was made of oats, they could have eaten him. And they wouldn't have had to have eaten the ponies. Although, didn't Amazon eat some of his dogs?
Well, Amazon, the delivery company.
Yeah, he ate some of his prime huskies.
Okay, which tastes better then, the dogs or ponies?
Okay,
it's something to consider. If you're going to be starving in the Antarctic, you want to choose an animal that's tasty. Why don't they take chickens?
Scott went with ponies, Christmas pudding, and a lot of whiskey.
Oh, yeah, that sounds all right.
And sort of like some sort of like tweed outfits.
Yeah, but if you had...
Amazon went with dogs and proper provisions and not like they didn't get like completely wankered on scotch the whole way. Hence, they got there and didn't have to eat each other.
But if they had sled chickens... if they had sled chickens, you think of, all the things you could do. Deep fried chicken.
They wouldn't be very good at pulling, would they? And they'd be scattered. I mean, come on, chickens aren't focused, are they?
Yeah,
they'd see a road, they'd want to cross it.
They're not expensive though. They work for chicken feed.
I met a lady in a baker's the other day, and I thought, so you see those great big lorries, and it's got Hyenda chicken on the side of it.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I pronounce it Hyenda.
I think it's for Senda.
She said I used to work for Hyenda chicken.
Yeah.
So obviously I've been saying it wrong.
I need to get. Because I've met the family.
Have you?
I have. A few years back. I can't remember. I think it's for Senda. I think it could be for Kenda.
If I get a job there as a receptionist, I go, morning for Kenda chicken. How can I direct your call?
Go back to your museum with all these stuffed animals. Did you see?
Oh, there are dogs in there.
Did they?
Pet.
Well, are they sort of like guide dogs or those comfort animals that they're allowed in?
So a lot of them were like prize-winning sort of Victorian greyhounds and bulldogs and stuff that hang off things' necks. But they're all starved. I was like, well, Mum, they're all dead.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they hadn't stuffed them, they'd have rotted away by now.
Some of these exhibits came from the other side of the world. So I don't know if when they got them to the UK, did they stuff them then because they were really stinky? Or did they stuff them on the spot and then shove them in a ship they smelled stuffy on the way?
I bet they stuffed them there because, did you see recently in the news, you ever seen that little stuffed mermaid, the dead mermaid. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And then they did
fantastic.
some tests, and they found it's made of papier-mâché and bits of fish and
Yeah,
all
they
sorts of
stitched
things.
together. It was a monkey. It was a monkey's
Yeah,
torso.
some of
and
it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Wish I'd done that.
Yeah, make a fortune. Make a fortune. But you haven't told me about the ice wall. You said that what was it? You're worried about the ice wall or confused?
I don't understand how tall it is.
Well, no, do I.
If you had some ladders or perhaps one of those like scissor lift things, could you then, if you thought it was there, could you then use that to get over it?
Well, I don't know, because I've seen them sort of say it's 200 foot tall. Well, I've been at the Burj Al Khalifa. That's a bit taller than that. We seem to manage to get up there. And they show helicopters flying along saying, this is the impenetrable ice wall. Well, why don't you just land the helicopter on it?
Somebody must have hit the top at some point. Also, could you not see, depending on how thick they built it and what they used, would you not be able to see the edge of it from space? Like go,
flat earthers don't believe in space.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's where it all falls down, really, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not like the Great Wall of China then, where you can see it from space. So does it go all the way around?
Well, I don't know I don't think it's supposed to be a wall like a wall. It's just the edge of ice, perhaps going on forever. But apparently you can't climb up it, and yet
it's icy, isn't it? It's going to be slippery.
Yeah, but some of Antarctica is a continent. It's land. There are beaches in places. Some places, what they always show you see is these pictures of the ice flows. So you've suddenly got a sheer cliff of ice, and there's apparently no way we could get up it. But other places, there's like pebble beaches, so you could just wander up there, couldn't you?
So are they envisaging it as a big glacial ice wall then, or is it? See, I've got this thing where I think it might be transparent, so you might bump into it and not realise that.
Well, and perhaps see through to the other side.
Yeah.
What would be on the other side?
You'd have to ask them, wouldn't you?
Well, apparently we're not allowed there. Apparently the Antarctic... No, flat earthers say that because the Antarctic Treaty, we're not allowed there, and if you go there, you'll be stopped. Although, which is where the armed penguins come in, you see.
Oh, so the next question is, beyond the ice wall, are there dinosaurs?
Well,
do they still behind there?
What the hell's that? What's it got on his back?
My knitted... It's got stars on it. It's not enough stars to be United States, though. It's my knitted. What is it? Diplodocus, the big one. It's not big enough to be that, as its legs aren't long enough.
How the hell does a knitted life form evolve? What, from a ball of wool?
Oh, I've got 3 on my dashboard.
3 what?
2 of them stick up and down. Knitted friends.
Knitted
They're
friends.
all called Lorcan.
They're what?
So I've got a knitted monkey, and it's like embracing a electric blue knitted pterodactyl that's not quite anatomically correct. And then there's a baboon as well, and they're all called Lorcan.
All called Lorcan. Why?
Yeah,
Who's Lorcan?
They're all named Lorcan, and the car is named Lorcan as well.
To save confusion, shall I call you Lorcan as well? Would that help?
Lorcan, if you said to someone in Scandinavia, if you were going to mispronounce the word orchids, what would you say? They would say Lorcans.
Where did the L come from?
I don't know, the Scandinavian.
They just
They don't get a lot of daylight all the year, do they? To pay £8 for a Mars bar. Oh, hang on a minute. Did I dream this? Was there a massive fire in Bergen last night?
I really don't know.
A massive fire.
Really don't know.
I've dreamt that, haven't I?
You might have done. It might have happened, but I've not looked at the news, so I don't know.
No.
So
I also dreamt that a Formula One racing driver smashed my favourite mug. So he said, watch this. He said, put your mug on the apex of this bend. I bet I can smash it. I was like, well, I don't want you to do that. You did it anyway.
Oh, man. That's terrible, Strevs. That's terrible.
Well,
I am depressed. Moving on.
Oh.
The other day...
How did she get up here? Ooh.
What's that?
It's broken Mona Lisa.
What do you mean a broken Mona Lisa?
I broke her, actually. She's imperfect. I tried to
So's my wife.
I tried to prise her off of the locket, and my experiment went awry. So there's some bits of her head in the kitchen somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm not prepared to mend her because she's not perfect anymore.
No, like I said, like my wife, but I'm not sure she was perfect in the first place.
Skating on thin ice there. You're skating on an ice wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gioconda Giovanni. What's her? They know her name, don't they?
Whose name? Yeah, Mona.
I'm not going to wear her. There we go.
So, what do you know about flat Earth then? What or what shape do you think the Earth is?
It's flat Earthers is a denial of the physics of the universe as we know it, but I think they've also got issues with evolution, dinosaurs. Darwin probably was like, I don't know, probably Satan's minion. So I think the Earth was created like about 7 years ago.
7. Wait, hold on. 7 years ago. I've been working at the place I work for longer than that. I didn't see it happen.
Was it 3,000 years then?
I think about 6,000 is the young Earth creationists.
We're dating stuff from the flood, aren't we? So when Noah managed to jam everything on the ark.
No, what they do is they add up the dates of birth and the lifespans of various biblical figures, yeah, and come up with about 4,500 years. But if you said 6,000 to 10,000 years for a young Earth creationist, fine. But it's several orders of magnitude wrong when it's actually 14.3 billion years. Yeah.
So I think the the Strega slide, the one that submerged Doggerland. Do you know when they go out in the little fishing trawler and they go, oh bloody hell, look, I want some herring in my net and I've got a massive mammoth.
Heroin?
Where did that come from?
Heroin?
Herring.
Oh, herring. So, I cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring. I shall do no such thing. It's silly.
Doggerland.
Yeah, but what about? I've heard of Doggerland. I don't know much about it.
Doggerland is shipping forecast on Radio 4. Thames, Tumber, White, Dover, Portland, Plymouth.
Dogger.
There's a Doggerland bit. Doggerland is the bit of the North Sea kind of. So if you like in Norwich and you went a bit more further out, a bit north of the coast, it's that seabed, that sea area there.
And it was once land, wasn't it?
Yeah, hunter-gatherers, lovely, beautiful, scenic valleys and forests and stuff. And then the Strega slide, so you got like a chunk of Norway, and one day it's like, oh fuck, I'm going to fall off. Fell off, made a massive tsunami, totally trashed Doggerland, went as far into parts of Scotland. Frankly, I haven't got an issue with that.
Any Scots watching this, take it out on Strevs, not me.
Oh, I was supposed to be going to Glasgow at the end of the month. I was really excited, but I don't think we're going there. So I've put the stag vest back in the cupboard. So
well, look, I've been to Scotland once, and I met my very good friend called Fight the Flat Earth, and I didn't get stabbed at all.
No, it's not. It's lovely.
It was.
No, it's yeah. No, I hope to get there and not be able to understand what they're saying, because I can't understand Yorkshire people, so a bit further north. I was just completely forget it. Oh, you know about evolution and bottom cracks, don't you?
Bottom cracks.
Right, I've done a study. So I've moved around quite a lot, lived in quite different bits of the UK,
right.
And I've only done men. I haven't done women. The further north you go geographically, the higher someone's arse crack is. So now I've done an extensive study. So if you're from if you're from like me, okay.
Sorry, say again.
Probably. So if you imagine where your navel is on the front, probably 2 or 3 inches, like obviously around the back, yeah. The further up you go, get to North Yorkshire, we're coming up to almost waistband level. Right?
Okay.
So by the time you're in Orkneys, you must be like, I don't know, crapping out your neck. Because it's a thing. The further north you, I wonder.
Why have we actually got them? If you look at the back end of a dog or a horse or something, actually horses have a bit of a butt crack, don't they? But dogs don't.
I think it's called an anal cleft.
Anal cleft?
No, it's something.
How the hell did we get talking about anal clefts?
I don't know.
Look, enough about butt cracks. Trev. Let's talk about something else.
While we were gone, I found this.
Knifing putty. Is that in case you get stabbed? You can feel the hole. You can feel the hole.
I won't take to the place in Scotland that we think is fabulous that I didn't diss earlier.
No.
Yeah.
You said to me the other day, Strevs, you said something about gravity. What was it you said about gravity? Gravity. Don't talk to me about gravity. I've seen it. It's rubbish.
So I had this discussion with someone yesterday about it's not so much as I'm being pulled, I'm being pushed.
Pushed down. You think,
Yeah.
so you don't think there's
Not so much pulling as
gravity's a pulling force or curves in the space-time continuum. You think it's things pushing you down?
I think, yeah.
Like what?
And I know the atmosphere's got a certain finite weight, but I mean, I know it's only air, but apparently it has got a weight. Although someone got like a massive fucking pair of scales out and gone, oh, hello, it's beer, it's in gravity, I weigh that. But I've got a problem with the fact that gravity is a universal constant, but I'm not happy that everyone, if you went out like a gazillion miles to like another planet, it might not be there. It might be different.
Well, on different planets.
I'm not happy. I'm okay.
Not happy. I'm not happy about gravity.
Uranus or Pluto, which is no longer a planet, which also I think is wrong because that's a bad rap for Pluto. It's been a planet for such a long time. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, do you know what? No, we're going to strip that away from you, which I think is rather unfair.
Well, I didn't vote for it.
I'm okay with gravity being out that far, but then when we go further out, I want to see some proof. So if you went to Alpha Centauri and like, don't know. I can prove that. Well, I can evidence that. They take. Have you ever heard of a barocentre? It's not a shopping centre, a barocentre. A centre where you go and get wheelbarrows.
No, good one. You are a strange person, Strevs. Yeah. Right, we orbit round the sun. Okay, so
which way? Clock or anti-clock?
Yeah. It depends if you're looking from above or below the disc. Look, but
does the sun spin?
Yes, the sun rotates.
Yeah. Why?
Well, again,
depending on where you look at it from up or bottom.
Exactly, okay, exactly. But the sun pulls on us. We pull on the sun.
Excuse me.
Nice one, Centurion. Yeah, so we pull on them like a guy, with a what do they call it, a hammer. The Olympic hammer throwing where they spin round. That's
Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, they sort of wobble, don't they? Because the centre of mass is not exactly in the centre of the guy. So as the hammer goes round him, he's got a wobble.
He's got a kilt on.
That happens with the sun, with us. The centre point is not right in the middle of the sun. And that's the same with other stars. We can actually see the wobble in stars exerted by their planets.
So the sun wobbles then because it centres off kilter?
Yeah. With respect to the planets going around it, yeah. So that with careful measurements of distant stars, you can see the slight wobble, which indicates there's something else orbiting around it, like that star, like the hammer. What's that?
We use a really big ruler to measure those.
No.
You measure the distances.
No.
They've got like a massive heat-proof ruler that goes out to the sun. And sorry, okay, can I just touch for 1 second? I've also got, so I said to you it wasn't fair about Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
Also, what about poor old Centrifugal Falls? No one cares about him anymore. He doesn't exist. He's centripetal now. He didn't just stop existing, did he?
No, that's different.
The thing that kept water in a bucket if you span round and round and round and round was Centrifugal Force. All of a sudden, it doesn't exist anymore.
You think if you're driving round a roundabout, okay, an object wants to go straight, yeah, at the same speed.
I go right round a roundabout, my body goes, ooh.
Yeah. Now you're not being pushed out. Your body's trying to carry you straight on, but the car's going like that. So the car door that you're pushed against is pushing you towards the centre of the roundabout.
Am I not pushing against?
So that's your centripetal force. So you're trying to travel straight, okay? And here's the roundabout. It's not pulling you in, but as the car is turning, you're being pushed in as well. That's centripetal force.
But it used to be centrifugal.
Well, centrifugal is an effect. The effect is that you feel as though you're being flung outwards. You're not being flung outwards. You're actually being pulled into that curved path.
Is that how the water in the bucket felt in all the experiments when I was a child?
Yeah, when you spin around a bucket of water, the water wants to fly off in a straight line.
Right.
If you made a hole in that bucket while you were spinning round, the water would that's the technical name for it. Yeah, it would piss out.
So that's the experiments of my childhood. I've taken that one. And also the one where they soaked a chocolate digestive in liquid oxygen and then set fire to it. That was fantastic.
And what did that prove? Or evidence?
If you get enough liquid oxygen on a chocolate digestive, it will go.
I'm glad you tell us these things. My life will be so much easier now, Strevs.
Your life is far richer for this knowledge.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got no chocolate digestives and no handy, easy to carry bottles of liquid oxygen.
Do you know what? Next time we do this, I'm going to do the party piece.
What's your
So
party piece?
I've got half the equipment here. I've got the cup of coffee. All I need is a packet of chocolate digestives. It's fantastic.
That'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, that is something to behold.
I'll ask at the end of this. At the end of this, I will ask people put in the comments if they ever want to meet you again, because you are rather strange, Strevs.
Yes, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't forget to put comments in. Give it a like if you haven't subscribed, and let us know if you want to see Strevs again. I see her an awful lot. She might explain quite a lot.
Yeah. At the washing machine factory.
Yes.
Oh, the Cyberman's Merkin is still on the Dorchester bypass. It still hasn't gone.
Is it? If anyone wants to know what a merkin is, look it up yourself.
Yeah. So it's still there. So it proves that it is metal, because it would have blown away or been dislodged by traffic.
Okay. Apart from the fact that gravity's holding it down.
Or pushing it.
Or pushing it. So if something was pushing down, what do you think is doing the pushing?
Well, I've been told it's the atmosphere, because the atmosphere apparently is incredibly heavy. But
okay, yeah. I can tell exactly how heavy the atmosphere is.
Oh, it's so many atmospheres, isn't it?
Yeah, one.
It's measured in atmosphere. The atmosphere is measured.
Yeah, that would be one.
Why isn't flour married? Why isn't flour weighed in flowers?
That's a good question, and one that has been much on my mind in recent weeks. But yeah, they measure atmospheres in atmospheres. It's one. But that equates to 14.7 pounds on every square inch of your body.
What was it Mr. Pascal that sorted that one out?
You can measure it in pascals as well, yeah.
Pressure, didn't he? Or was it Isaac Newton with his pear on his head?
You can measure it in torr.
I'm sure I've
760 torr.
No, Isaac Newton was a virgin when he died. He never popped his cherry. I don't know how they know that.
Where did that come from?
Isaac Newton. What he used to like to do with gravity and pressure and shit.
Yeah, wasn't it apples rather than popping his cherry?
Yeah. Didn't Newton have a mate that did something with like a tube and some vacuum and a penny and a feather?
I don't know. Go on, tell us about it.
Lads, I've got really wankered last night. I had this fantastic idea. I'm going to get a glass tube. I'm going to suck all the air out of it.
Before you tell us,
I don't know what a vacuum is yet, because it's like 1675, but I think I've made one. And inside it, I'm going to pop a feather and a penny, and when I turn it, they're both going to fall at the same rate. How'd you like that, Isaac? Sort your gravity out.
And for our foreign viewers, that word beginning with W basically means she imbibed one or two alcoholic drinks.
So who was that? That was Boyle, wasn't it? Oh no, he did. So Boyle did like boiling temperatures.
Well, he did gas laws. This Boyle's gas law, but
Boyle's. There's a theme here.
Yeah, but
we measure things in newtons. Atmospheres.
It was a good job his name was Newton, then, wasn't it?
Hey?
That's brilliant, isn't it? If you thought, do you know, I'm going to work on physics, and I'm going to be able to measure these various forces. They're call them newtons, which happens to be my name. Isn't that handy? I've got another top tip for you, Strevs. A top tip, right? To save money on getting yourself a private number plate, right? Why not change your name to something like SU12AVG? It save you a fortune.
That would be, yeah.
Yeah, but that's interesting you're saying about that. Items in a vacuum dropped. Yeah, they'll drop at the same rate, a hammer and a feather. And they did that on the moon and have shown it. But they've also done it in very large vacuum chambers.
On the moon, so they wouldn't have fallen as in a vacuum. The gravity on the moon is 1/10 of the gravity on Earth, isn't it?
1/6.
Okay, 1/6.
Yeah, so it's 1/6. So it will still fall. Objects fall.
So we'll still exert a force on it. So the hammer will drop faster than the feather.
No.
Well, if you've still got gravity out there.
Yeah. So you drop the feather. What stops the feather dropping?
Put a really thick layer on, but only scrape it back. It's only a tiny, tiny bit.
Tiny things. Tiny. Look, if I drop a feather, why won't it fall? If I drop a feather now and a hammer here, why would the feather fall slowly?
Drop it on your foot, John.
No, I won't drop it on my foot. No.
The feather will be all right, but the hammer won't. You end up with a harlequin toenail.
But listen. Listen, if I drop the feather, why won't it fall at the same rate as the hammer here?
Because it's not as heavy as the hammer, and you're not wearing a kilt and spinning it around.
What is slowing it down?
Air.
What haven't we got on the moon?
Yeah, but you still got gravity on the moon.
Yeah. Gravity's what making it fall down.
Oh, okay, right. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Right, so you're saying that space is a vacuum, yeah?
Pretty much. Yes, it's a vacuum, and it's a pretty hard vacuum.
So you're saying pretty much?
Yeah, well, it's 10 to the negative 17 torr. Basically, it's as close to zero as makes no bloody difference, all right? So, yes.
But there might be some bits in it.
Some odd bits, yes. Yeah, odd molecules, atoms of gas, canoeists, stuff like that. But it's hardly anything. So when you drop that feather, or let go of the feather, it's acted on by gravity. When you drop the hammer, it's acted on by gravity. They're both pulled down on the moon at 1/6 the force on here. But there's no air to slow it down. You think if you jump out of an aircraft without a parachute, you'll accelerate until you reach terminal velocity.
Yeah,
you won't go any faster because the air will slow you down.
I'm okay with that, but I'm still not happy. I'm sure that the hammer would drop a little bit faster on the moon.
Why?
Because it's fucking heavy.
What was if it was a little tiny hammer?
like a war hammer. Like a war hammer. Like that. What's that? What do those men do that paint the little things and they play with them?
Oh, those sort of kit. I know what you mean for war, not war games.
Yeah.
I forgot what you call it. Dungeons and Dragon type things, and they paint them all up. Yeah, but
a lot of tools like here. Yes.
Any object only has weight because of gravity. If you were in the middle of space, nowhere near a planet, nowhere near a star, okay, you're weightless, aren't you? Your hammer still has mass. Let's say it's a 1 kilogram hammer. It's still 1 kilogram, but there's nothing pulling it. So it's weightless.
But if you're on the moon, there is something there.
Yeah, pulling it at 1/6. So the hammer goes down. But it's pulling the feather down as well.
Don't know. I'm going to have another weird dream about this, like the shoplifting spiders, aren't I?
The what?
Just things that happen to you. So when you dream, you assimilate what's gone on today, don't you? You sort out, your brain sorts out and can't.
Spiders?
Mine does. Shoplifting spiders.
Okay. What the hell would a spider want to shoplift?
It was in Asda. It was particularly interested in the butter aisle. And I had assisted it, so I was going to be arrested as an accomplice. But we had to get the butter past the picket line of Asda employees who, strangely, though they were picketing the store, were giving us discount stickers that we had to stick on our arm that meant we could buy as many groceries as we wanted for 40 quid, but we could only fit them on the bag. But then the spider, who instantly had like yellow bubbles on its head, then decided the price of butter's gone through the roof, I'm going to have some of that as well. And it was over the top of the bag.
Strevs, am I in some alternate reality? Are you a figment of my deranged imagination? Things are turning very weird. But then that's quite usual with you, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So we've done gravity then. Are we good with that?
We're all right. So gravity keeps Jimmy Hill on next door's extension roof then, doesn't it?
What?
Oh, Jimmy Hill. Jimmy Hill's this black and white cat that lives nearby.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we all knew that your neighbour's cat was called Jimmy Hill. We all knew that.
I don't know what it's called, but I call Jimmy Hill because he's got a really big chin.
Okay.
So it's Jimmy
like
Hill.
The old sports presenter.
Yes,
with a chin you could ski off.
Which is like the time Mum found Michael Bublé dead in the back garden.
I didn't read about that in the papers.
Well, actually, no. It was like a pet seagull that she called Michael Bublé, and then one morning she very sadly found Michael Bublé. So she phoned me and she went, "I've just found Michael Bublé. He's dead in the back garden." I was like, "Get the press." There's a story.
What if this not the Secret Service, MI5, MI6, whoever it is that monitors all our phone calls, as I'm sure that flat earthers are worried about. They hear her saying that I just found Michael Bublé dead in my back garden.
Triggering something somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to get a SWAT team breaking down your door or something.
Yeah. Well, it did used to worry at clothing and stuff, and then it was dead.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that we all feel
I don't think she gave it a burial. I think she just put it in the bin.
not well, recycling bin or just the ordinary bin.
I don't know. They didn't really like the neighbour, so she might have put it in her bin.
Like you do.
Hey, you do? Why wouldn't you?
Well, when she goes to chuck the next bit of rubbish in the bin and she finds a dead, what was it? A dead what?
Michael Bublé.
A dead Michael Bublé in your recycling bin. Well, that's probably the best. It's probably the best place for him anyway.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So, do you think there's aliens out there, Strevs, or do you think it's just us?
Mothership's coming for me in half an hour.
Oh yeah, I should think they should.
Yes. So, yes.
So why haven't we seen them?
Years and years and well, because if we did, they like everyone would just freak out so badly. So what they've got to do is they've got to drip feed it. Like the man that was on Radio 4 quite a few years ago, who was on really late night on Radio 4 because he knew that the audience would be really big. And he went, look, I work for this thing in the government in America, or whatever. And I'm telling you, yeah, it's real, but we can't go public with it. So he said, we do it like this. So we drip feed it in. So like 3 people listen to Radio 4 at 4 in the morning have heard this.
You being one of them.
Yeah.
So they're drip feeding what? What are they drip feeding us? The secret.
Here.
Aliens are here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just for the sake of clarity, I think that there is alien life somewhere in the universe, because otherwise it would be an awful waste of space.
Well, there's that crap they found on Mars, but that's not really going anywhere, is it?
What crap?
It's like some magic stripes in some rock. And the last, not Sojourner, that was ages ago. What's the most recent one called?
Oh, I don't know. The one with the helicopter. The little Mars
the
helicopter.
drone.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it drilled into a thing, and then its thing broke, which is shit, because you can't get in this part of B&Q and just pop up and put that on. But no, they fixed it. So a lady in NASA fixed it.
Right.
And then it did get a thing, a core sample out, and they went, oh, there's shit in this where things were alive. But obviously the stuff didn't get it together like it did on Earth, because it's just like sand still.
You're talking about some sort of microscopic
Primeval
life,
goo.
Primeval goo.
Like Captain Picard finds, and Q says, oh, if you don't do this, I'm going to trash that. I'm going to piss in that rock pool there. All that primeval goo that is the beginning of your world, I'm going to piss in that, and then you won't exist anymore.
I'm quite a Star Trek fan, Strevs, and I don't remember Q saying he was going to do that.
Don't you remember that?
I do remember the episode, yeah.
I'm gonna shit in your pool. I like John Delancey, actually. I think he's aged really well.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor.
He's an excellent actor. He is superb.
So you do you think there are aliens, and do you think they've made Oh, you do? Okay. Do you think they have made contact, but only with a few people in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, I don't think they go to they go out for drinks or stuff.
Right.
But yes. And probably, I don't know why, probably in America. Although there could be someone here that's, a secret place. There's a secret place up the road where it's the dustbin people, and there's like a little tiny sentry box thing, but the entry gate. Right. And there's a man in it, and it's actually, that's the entrance, that's the portal to, I just thought about something else in a minute. So it goes down to a subterranean, huge city, so people can go down there if there's a nuclear blast. But the access point is actually the gate man's little hut thing at Grundon's.
Grundon's, the waste disposal company.
Yes. So something as innocuous as that. So you could be driving around, when you drive past, you see a farm building.
Yeah.
And it's so immaculately clean. It's like, oh my God, that is so affront, because any farm, its very nature, is going to have some stuff with some old tyres outside, some cow crap, bit of tangled barbed wire. That's a farm for you. When you see a farm building and it's immaculate, there's men with shiny boots in there.
What do you mean, them?
It's a front. Well, no, they could be facilitating them.
What, hold on, a front for what?
Military stuff. Not necessarily aliens, but they're doing something in there. It's too clean.
And the secret cities. Cities.
Yeah. So when it snowed, if there were footprints there, they used to squirt other snow over it so that it didn't look like they were there, because that was a front.
But if I came to your town, found Grundon's waste management company,
Yes.
found the little sentry
Yes.
guard box,
Yes.
distracted him somehow. Look, there's the Goodyear blimp. So he goes
Yes.
off to look. I go in his
But
little
no,
sentry
he
box.
won't know it's there. He won't even know it's in his sentry box.
Oh right, so he's a patsy.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
he's-
okay,
yeah, no,
okay,
he won't know
but he
that.
goes off for his lunch or something, and I sneak into his little sentry box. You're saying there'll be some way to get to
think
some
it's probably-
underground secret city
I
that
think
the military
it's
are running.
Secure access, though.
Sorry.
I think it's not going to be like a trapdoor in the floor. I think it will probably be like secure access, and obviously stuff down there is probably going to be pretty much mothballed now because right. So when the Cold War was on, the nuclear threat was a real,
Yeah.
which incidentally I dream about as well. So every borough in the UK had the remit for keeping stuff. So when civilization came back online again, so say Sheffield had the UK supply of batteries, Manchester had the UK supply of toilet rolls. So each borough council was designated a thing to get civilization back on its feet again. The borough that I lived in, the London borough of Bexley, guess what theirs was?
I don't know.
Teaspoons.
Teaspoons. Well, I mean, this country
You can't
runs on
do
tea. If you
civilization
haven't got
without
if you haven't got teaspoons, how the hell are you going to make a nice cup of tea? Eh?
It's just like Candida has got penicillin, someone else has got wound dressing, someone else has got radio components.
But Bexley's got teaspoons.
So,
Who's got tea?
consequently, when the Cold War thawed out, they had like a fucking million teaspoons on their hands.
But hold on. Right, we just had World War III, nuclear disaster, nuclear winter. We got Sheffield say, that's all right, we got batteries. And
Right,
yeah,
We've got tampons, we've got toilet rolls, yeah.
yeah, okay. And we go to Bexley and they say, we got you covered for teaspoons. Excellent.
Fine.
Right.
Fine.
Where are you going to get the tea from? Us over in India.
I don't know. I just love that the borough I lived in was in control of all the teaspoons.
Teaspoons.
I thought that was so sweet. I really, really did.
What do you think they should have had then instead of teaspoons? What would be the most important thing if civilization is close to the edge of collapse and we say, Strevs, save us? Have you
know
got... What
you
would
always need it. You can never find it. In sellotape.
Sellotape, sticky tape.
I mean, you're trying to sort out someone's birthday present. Shit.
I've got
Where's
no
the-
sellotape.
Also, I have trouble finding rulers. So there's one here.
Yeah,
that I'm
you
gonna
had one
make a
earlier.
mental note of because this isn't my room. Always the rulers go missing, and also I've lost my fake tan as well.
Yes, well, in the event of nuclear war, you're going to
I
need
think that's fallen in the
fake
sewing
tan.
bag. Oh, did you see in the news? So the ongoing dig on Hadrian's Wall on the Roman fort of Vindaloo, which sounds like an Indian curry. Vindalanda.
Okay.
So they've got an object they found really well preserved. It's wooden, and they were very excited at the time. And it's in, I don't know, Hexham Museum, and I thought it was a wooden sewing box. So okay. Anyway, so the experts have now gone and looked at it. It's actually a dildo.
Okay. This went south quickly.
Well, you'd expect to find it in Pompeii, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I don't know if you would expect to
Roman
find them in
city,
pub.
Roman sex hub, but not on Hadrian's Wall. Too
Wow.
chilly to drop your drawers up there, I would have thought. Yeah, so they've now had to reclassify this object. They've looked at it.
Oh, a
smooth
sewing
object.
box. How could you confuse a sewing?
I don't
No,
know.
I don't want to know either. I really
was-
don't want to know. I want to keep my
obviously
channel. I want to
very
keep my channel, Strevs. So I don't want to know the answer to that. But you said you had something else you wanted to mention as well, just a minute ago.
What, that when I was little, I thought that your soul was actually an organ and it lived in your body and that it's down where like your appendix lives. But instead of, I thought it was like like shredded wheat.
With a breakfast cereal.
Yeah, about half the size of a shredded wheat.
What about one of those mini shreddies?
No, that's too small. That's
Too
not
small,
big enough
okay.
for a soul. So like half the size, unless you're an adult, because you'll probably grow like you would. I don't know if your organs must grow. Yeah, because when you're a baby, your liver would be tiny. So
Well, otherwise it wouldn't fit inside you, would it?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Although those really skinny girls, it's like where are their organs? I don't. Where is your liver? Where are your kidneys? Clearly they've starved themselves, and there's no adipose fat around their kidneys. If they fell over, they'd bruise really badly. So anyway, so it's a shredded wheat, but rolled in. You know, like that Hoover fluff. You get like the sort of like
What,
really
like dust
grey-
bunnies?
Yeah. So it's rolled in that, And when I was like 4, I thought that was what your soul, that was your soul, and it sort of lived in a part of your body. It was actually an organ, which I blame on the school I went to at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went to about 50 different schools. None of them were overtly church schools, but obviously somebody had done some teaching there about souls, because where would a 4-year-old?
I know. And where would you get breakfast cereal wrapped in dust bunnies from?
Because I thought that's what your soul looked like. I mean, obviously I'd seen Tomorrow's World and stuff, and I knew what
the old 1970s.
Always operating on somewhere. So I knew what a liver and a heart and the stomach and stuff looked like. But for some goodness knows what reason,
so you got sort of sloppy bits of pulsing meat.
Yeah.
And then you thought the soul would be breakfast cereal covered in
fluff, rolled in fluff.
Okay. So do you think we got a soul?
Yeah, I mean, jury's out. Obviously, I'm about it being shredded wheat now.
Yeah, well, yeah. But leaving aside shredded wheat, and let's not bicker about who killed who. Okay, right? Never mind what it looks like. Do you think we have a soul? Because I don't think we have a soul. Do you think we have a soul?
Oh, you're going to get me started on the electrical impulses in the trees now.
The what? Electrical impulses in trees?
No. So I've got a friend who says when you die, you just like go back into the earth, and then like a tree might grow out of you. So that's your life, your kind of life force carrying on, because like you've mulched a eucalyptus or something.
Right. So you're compost now.
Yeah, no, but I'm not happy about. So I remember at school that you can't kill energy. You can't. Energy, if you've got energy,
that's right.
You can't go away. You can't just go all like flush down the toilet. So it has to go somewhere or do something. So we've got electrical impulses in our bodies that make our heart beat. When you die, that's a form of energy. It doesn't just fuck off, does it?
Yeah, but
where does it go? So John always says to me, "Oh, it goes out as heat," and then I'm not happy about that.
Well, he's right. Energy one form of energy transforms to another, or you get movement, or you get heat. Well, movement is heat. It doesn't go away, and we'll rot down, but we're in effect we're recycled however many times. Did you know that you are made out of star stuff?
I thought you were going to say that I drunk the water I drink has gone through someone and been weed out 9 times.
Well, that's true as well. It is sort of not fresh. It's not yellow.
What, the stardust or the water?
No. We're all the material we're made of, everything. The chair you're made of, it's all made from atoms of stuff that's been generated in stars.
What, and then it
initial stars grew up. They lived fairly short lives. They exploded in supernovas, flinging out the elements. Because stars transform one element to another as part of the nuclear process, and those elements then coalesce.
Like the biscuit.
Oh, sorry, say again.
They've done that like in a lab, then like setting light to the biscuit.
Well, your chocolate digestives with liquid oxygen again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same thing.
Do you think aliens have a sense of humour?
Sorry, aliens have a sense of humour?
Yeah. I mean, do you reckon they get like, whatever?
They're going to need one if they ever come here and meet you.
I know, but I mean, do you think they've got like an equivalent of like, going out and getting wankered and like, I don't know, tying someone to a lamppost or
I'm pulling their trousers down and running away.
Party tricks. Whenever you see them, whenever there is empty, they've never got clothes on, have they?
Who?
They're always stark as poor little buggers.
Who?
Anything I've seen with aliens in it.
The little greys.
They've not got a stitch on, have they?
What, like E.T. and little greys in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that sort of thing?
I like that film with, I think it's, how is it? Is it Communion, where they take him away and there's just 2 different flavours of aliens out, and one of them is dressed, and the little ones that are dressed, they carry him into a room and they get like the tubes that you put on the back of tumble dryers, that if you haven't got it plumbed in, you pop it out the window, those really big tumble dryers.
Air vent tube, yeah.
And then so the still ones that haven't got a stitch on, they come in and put one of them up his bum.
What?
Have you not seen that film?
No, I don't think it's one that's likely to appear.
It doesn't look like he's struggling. So there's 2 different. So there's a subservient breed of alien, that are like little funny things, but they've got like little sort of Yoda jackets on. It's a really famous film.
I don't know which film you're talking about. But actually,
Oh,
it's funny you
that.
saying that about aliens not having clothes. You know, you see paintings.
It's the X-Files episode where they had the zip down the back.
Yes. But you have perhaps paintings of ghosts or photographs supposed to show ghosts, or you talk to someone who says they've seen a ghost and they describe it like a headless horseman dressed in military uniform or whatever. Yeah. Why have they got clothes on?
Because what you're seeing is a psychical imprint of them, so that it's not their life force. So if it was them as a life force where they're trapped in a thing and they're coming back to haunt you and like causing shit like poltergeist, then that isn't going to have any clothes on because that's going to be like an entity. Whereas the stuff people see, I say, oh, I saw a headless horseman who instantly caused another road accident up the road, by the way.
Okay.
It's terrible. It's written off the bollards. Years even written off a temporary one. So that will be like a thing that's been replayed. So that would be like a psychic episode in time that has been traumatic and that's imprinted. So that's something that's replaying like a video. But the stuff where like people go woo and like put chairs on things, that's an actual entity. So that's like probably not even going to have like a visual physical presence. Well, so that's why they ain't got stitch on.
I've always wondered about it because if you can't take money with you and all this sort of thing, you can't touch things once you're one of these spirits. How the hell and why the hell would you have clothes? You wouldn't need them. You're not going to feel cold, are you?
You might be able to touch stuff if you crossed over and you saw them in their plane. They might be moving stuff.
In the what?
In their plane. If you cross over into their plane.
I was thinking aeroplane. Planes of existence.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't believe any of that, though, Strevs.
What about unicorns?
What about them?
I think there was probably one of those in that museum yesterday.
Yeah, but what about unicorns?
With things stitched on them. So apparently unicorns will only come and chat with someone if they're a virgin. So they'd have got on well with Isaac Newton, wouldn't they?
Well, that's true, because he hasn't popped his cherry or his apple yet.
They couldn't chat with unicorns. And also, if you've got like a puddle that's poisonous or like a pond or something, if the unicorn goes, oh, and it dips its horn in, it will make it all right. Which is why unicorn horns were prized when they like ground them up. Clearly, it had come off a goat or something. They go, oh, here's some powdered unicorn horn. If you drink some of this in some beer, you'll never die, or of poison. Like they used to drop the pearl in the wine and pretend it dissolved, which was a load of bollocks.
Of course it is. That's like all that stuff about lucky rabbit's foot. Well, the rabbit had 4 of them. It wasn't very lucky for the rabbit, was it?
Well, they had some hairs in there yesterday as well, but I wanted to touch those, but they were in a case.
Somewhat. Hands?
Hairs.
Hairs?
Hairs, yeah.
Yeah, I dream of hair.
Yeah, well, actually, when I took this off, I should have collected it off the floor and made it into a wig for you, shouldn't I? You could have glued it into...
Yeah, because you just had a haircut, haven't you?
Yes, I had one of my, oh my God, crisis moments where I'm very, very worried I'm going to grow old gracefully.
That's why I look so young and gorgeous.
That is a horror. That is a real concern for me.
Yeah, you look younger without hair.
Hey?
You look younger without hair. Why don't you shave it off totally and look, I don't know, mid-20s maybe?
That would take another bottle of wine.
I'm sure you got one of those.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, look, Strevsy, this has been brilliant, and I've noticed the Zoom meeting's about to end.
Okay.
So
I'm going to prep tomorrow by putting some peanut butter in some soup.
Some what? Peanut butter in what sort of soup?
Tomato, preferably.
Tomato and peanut butter soup. That about says it all, Strevs.
A meat soup would not be acceptable. So an oxtail, a chicken, or any sort of...
There are no chickens. They all went to Antarctica pulling sleds.
Oh, yeah, they were pulling a sled, aren't they?
Listen, it has been a pleasure. Do you have any messages, any words of wisdom for the world watching?
Yeah. If you are all right with reincarnation and you think it's a thing, can I recommend that next time you do what I do, is come back as somebody who knows better?
Better than who?
I did this time round.
I don't know who I'd want to come back as if I could. Well,
not a dung beetle.
Not a dung beetle, no. No, that'd be crap, wouldn't it? But if you're going to come back as an individual, do you mean a named person? Like, I'll come back as Nelson Mandela or something like that, do you mean?
No, you want to do that.
Well, no, Yeah, a long time in prison. But so if you're going to pick someone to come back as, who would you pick?
I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that.
Oh, something for next time, maybe. Something for
Catherine the
next time.
Great.
Catherine the Great.
Yeah.
What did she do then?
I can't say on this because it will be banned.
Okay. You tell me later. I think I'd like to come back as someone involved in the Apollo lunar landing.
Yeah, not the one that blew up. Not the one not 13. Because that ended in tears, didn't it?
No, they survived.
What's the one where they all got burnt to death?
Oh, that was one of the earlier.
Yeah, you don't want to be involved in that one.
No, not that one. Not that one. One of the successful ones would be good.
Okay.
That'd be good. All right. Well, Strevs, thank you very, very much for joining us. And I'd love to see you back here again. But people, let us know in the comments if you want to know more about Strevs' wonderful, weird world. Say goodnight, Strevs.
Bye. Bye.